Right, hi everyone, and welcome to our very awesome treasure hunting spreecast with Autumn from Autumn's Upscale Resale.
Hey
Hi
everybody.
Autumn.
Hey everybody, how's it
Hi.
going?
I hope everyone can hear us okay. The chat room's very quiet. I don't see anyone chatting there, but I do see lots of people there, and I do see
Sean.
questions from There's Sean. Hi, Sean.
Hi Sean.
I know that you are a very popular lady, Autumn. Everyone's going, yes, Autumn's on. This is so cool. Um,
Yeah.
so let me say why I asked you to do a spreecast with me. I think you showed your eBay store in the treasure hunting group, and I just took one look at it and was like, this is such a cool looking store. You've got it
Thank you.
laid out, you've got beautiful photographs, you've got a really well established niche that you
Mhm.
know a lot about. And
Yes.
I wanted to hear all your eBay tips and hear how you do it and just ask you more about it. So
Thank you. Yeah.
introduce yourself. Tell us about what you do.
Yeah. My name's Autumn. I've been selling on eBay full time for 2.5 years now, and I started in 2011 in November or December. So I'm like a latecomer. And I didn't really even get into this. I got into this out of desperation. I was a veterinary technician. I worked in the field for 10 years. I did emergency. So I was like, pretty much had gotten to the top of my field and I couldn't really get a car. And I was here in Colorado. I'd moved from California and my car was not cutting it. It snows here. You need something different. And I was like, what am I going to do? So I'm pretty resourceful. And I was like, well, my dad had done eBay in the 90s. And I was like, well, I'm just gonna sell this purse that I have or whatever. I had like a couple of designer things that I'd gotten from my mom or my mom's friends, like I had a Coach bag or something. And I was like, I'm just gonna sell all this stuff. And I was desperate. I really needed like a down payment for like a new car and a way to pay for a new car. So I was like, well, I don't know. I'm just gonna sell everything. So I had a camera
That's
and I had some clothes, like that's kind of what we all do to start is like desperation and I'm just gonna sell this, like swap meet
I
or
think
whatever,
that is. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I think that was the same for me. I mean, I used to sell as a hobby like a long time ago, and it was just fun then. Because I had a husband, he was making decent money.
Mhm,
I had everything sorted out. And then a couple of years ago, I just found myself like divorced and just
mhm.
in like, how do I make money? I've been out of the workphoce for so long. I've been a student
Right.
and mom.
I
What
was
do
at the
I
top
do?
of my
And
workforce. I couldn't get any more money out of my paycheck. So I was like, what am I going to do? Like same thing. It's very, and when you're pinned up against the wall, somehow, like some part of me jumped out and was like, well, I'm just going to sell this. Like the idea came to me and like my dad had done eBay in the 90s, like I said. So it was like, okay, I'm going to try this. So I just took some pictures and threw it up there and didn't even care. And of all the things that I put up there, the purse and the shoes and the, like this Banana Republic jacket I had, it all sold better than the camera and the other stuff that I had. And I was like, well, the
oh,
camera's kind of a pain in the butt. Like I got like my first negative right away from the camera. I saw or something happened. I can't remember. It was a while ago and I kind of tried to forget it, but basically I had trouble with like the electronics, but like the clothes kept selling really well. And I was like, well, I like selling clothes and shoes, and I would go to garage sales and I'd kind of try and sell everything. Like I'd sell walkie-talkies, I'd sell like stuffed animals, we all do everything. I'd sell stuff in the box. I sold juicers, I sold, gosh, everything, dehydrators, different things that I would find at yard sales. And then I realized that that the shoes and clothes were really easy to pack and they were really
yeah.
easy to source because you could just go to the thrift store and if you knew the brands you could just sift through the clothes and literally the designer clothes were like laying right there, some of the really high end things that I kind of just knew about. My brother was a diehard thrifter and he taught me, we were thrifters, we were just that income bracket growing up, so basically I knew that designer stuff was in there because I shopped in the thrift store in my high school days in Pacific Beach where you are actually kind of living. Well, you
Yeah,
live in
yeah.
Mira Mesa, but in the same vicinity. I grew up where Katharyne actually currently lives in San Diego, and so basically that's what we did down there is like we thrifted and made ends meet. I waitressed, so I was always living on a budget. And
You
basically,
know, Oh, sorry. Yeah, but I wonder if it was something I did because you arrived here
I
just
know,
no,
right?
you left here just
I
as I
left
arrived. I'm like,
right when
was
you
it
arrived.
me?
Yeah, I know. No, I wasn't doing any selling. I was just thrifting. I was always a good thrifter, you know. I knew what the stores had and I knew designer stuff was there even though I didn't like want to really particularly wear it. I knew it was there. And so like once I put two and two together that like that used clothes sell on eBay. And I made some money, like the purse sold for $93. I was like, are you kidding me? It would take
Oh
me 8
wow.
hours of work to make $93. And then they'd take $25 of it. You know, I lived on a budget of $15 an hour or 17 on the weekends. You know, I had to pay a differential, shift differential and things like that. So bonuses or whatever, but nothing like eBay. You know, I've made some money on eBay and it's been pretty good to me for the most part.
I think that's part of the high of eBay that you get this sale and you're like, whoa, I just made $50 off something I bought for $1. Wow. I mean, like, what job can you do that in?
What
It's
job? I
so
mean, I've been
quick.
trying to make money all online for a while. I have the entrepreneurial spirit, you know, I'd always been trying to like hustle on the side somewhere, do something swap meet. You know, we were like selling things or trading things or whatnot. But when I found eBay and the thrift store and the combination of the two, I thought I'd hit it big. I was like, what? Where was I? You know, come on, if I would have found this in the night, if I would have connected this 5 years ago, you know, the stuff that was lying there 5 years ago, it's changing. That's another thing that we'll talk about a little bit later, but it's getting a little harder and harder. As you know, the thrift stores are raising their prices to these
And I think
exorbitant
more
levels.
people are learning about it. There's
Just
more
like
people who are out there who are putting
flabbergasted
two
by
and
it.
two together.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like crazy. I mean, either more people are doing it or more people, I don't know, the thrift stores are catching on. And like I went there today, they are charging $12.99 for the crappiest pair of shoes. And I'm like, how do they even expect to cater to the public? That I was a thrifter. We grew up in that income bracket. So I
yeah.
really
Who are they
appreciate the thrift
targeting
store.
now?
Yeah, now
Yeah,
they're like
yeah.
insulting people like this trashy purse that's like they
And
put the
they're doing
trashiest
that thing.
purses for like $15. I'm like, are they crazy? What are they
I
thinking? You know, they've
know.
gone overboard and it's really creating some kind of like all over the Facebook groups, you know, the one that I had for a long time and then the one that you have, I see it. People are really getting frustrated with the prices. And that's, you
Well, they're
know,
doing that
where it's
thing where
come
they
to with
put the
eBay.
eBay price. They put the eBay price up and they put the Amazon price up and they say, hey, you could, this is the price online. It's like, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and really right now in my area, I can't find, you know, like I am trying to do a little bit of a switch to Amazon and I'm a thrift store girl, so like doing retail arbitrage is a little foreign to me. I'm trying it out here and there, you know, like at different stores and stuff, but it's still, I feel weird scanning things in stores. I don't know why. I feel perfectly fine carting around a huge cart of shoes at the thrift store with all the other like half awake people, you know, but here I am in Walmart and I'm just like, you know, I'm like not sure what to do, but so my transition from eBay to Amazon is really kind of like a little frightening. I'm kind of like I am in a niche. Like I said, I noticed the clothes and shoes sold really well, so I just kept buying the same brands of clothes and the same brands of shoes, and I just started to build this like I'm kind of like an assembly line person. I like to do things like so if I have the same
That's
thing to
good.
do every day, it starts to look
Well, when
exactly
you find
alike.
something that works, hit it and hit it and hit it. Just keep going when you find it and it
Exactly. I
works.
mean, I'm sure like you make these bundles and you're starting to see that those work, and then you make them for certain things, and then those sell, and then you're like, well, why not make all these other ones? I don't have to be at Walmart, you know, at 8 o'clock at night in the clearance aisle. I can just make these bundles, and you know, I can make this money. So like that's what
I
I
do.
was realizing. eBay's like a
Yeah,
numbers game. You list and it sells, and the more you list, the more it sells, you know.
and I think developing like your own system is really useful. Like with the bundles, I think it's
Hmm.
taken me like most of a year to figure out my system with bundles because I've had to
Hmm.
go through the different seasons and be like, okay,
Right,
I know this is going to do well at Valentine's Day. So if I
right.
know that these products sell well at Valentine's Day, can I hit it again in a slightly different way for Easter, 4th of
Mm.
July? And actually,
Yeah,
I
you
find a
notice
lot for
patterns like
seasonal
I
stuff.
do. So you capitalize on patterns because you realize that
Yes.
how the market works, like what people want. I can see what people want by what they bid on and what's popular.
Yeah.
And I just go buy those shoes
That's
again, you
good.
know. I just find them, oh, there's those Keens. Cool. I know people like those. I just keep adding certain brands to my list and I always buy them, and then I'm always selling. These things are always selling, you know? And I sell
And I
7 to
think that's
10
one of the,
items a day, and my price per item is $36. So, you know, it's a pretty good system and a good business. Although this whole thing with eBay and Google, that really hurt me. That really hurt the small business. I don't know if you know what happened, but there was a,
with
let's see if I
Google.
can reiterate it. There was a
Yeah.
unscrupulous search engine submission techniques that were being done by eBay to Google, and Google didn't like that.
Oh.
They were upset about it. Now, I've seen this on multiple posts on Facebook, and then Danny Ackerman confirmed it. She made a video about it. Google and eBay not playing nice. And so
Oh, that's interesting.
basically, this is terrible. It was actually happened about 3.5 weeks ago, or almost a month ago now, and it's hurt the small business because eBay, when you used to type in Clark shoes looking for like a pair of shoes, eBay would show up right away as like the first page where you could find those shoes even above Zappos and Amazon, because eBay was
Yeah.
just so hot all the time for like certain things, you know what I mean? Just like Amazon's hot for certain things. And like people, and eBay was always on the first page. Well, Google lowered them 50%. So they
That's
were on the
interesting.
third
I didn't know that.
page. Yeah.
That's
I don't
really
know
interesting.
if you
You know,
realize the trends and you felt your sales drop for like the last 3 weeks, like kind of like weird drop,
yeah,
like, whoa, this has
yeah.
been weird. No one's even looking at my items or what's been going on.
So is this
It's
recent?
because
Is
of
this
that.
over? Is this recent? Is this like in the
Three
last
weeks,
few weeks or?
3.5 weeks. So it
Wow.
was first, it was the password breach, which customers were backing out just a little bit from, and then it was the Google and eBay thing that happened. And you know, I have to think of the words to get it exact,
Yeah.
but it was some kind of search and submission, unscrupulous activities, and so they were bumped down. They were punished. Google
Oh,
punishes
how
eBay, I think was the
interesting.
headline. Yeah,
I
so
didn't know
I
that.
felt it.
That's
I
wow.
felt it. My sales
I,
went down to like 4 a day, and my items felt like I wasn't even, no one was even looking at my items. It felt like a ghost town for like a week. I was like, wow. I mean, I literally saw numbers plummet, and I was like, wow, I wonder what's going on. I thought it was maybe just a lot of influx or free listings, and then I heard about this, and I was like, oh, that makes a little bit of sense. And
you know,
they're
because
slowly climbing out of it.
I'm only a small seller on eBay comparatively, and
Mhm.
so I find it hard to see the patterns on eBay. I can see patterns on Amazon, but I'm just looking at eBay and I'm like, maybe it's seasonal, maybe it's me, maybe it's what I'm selling. But I do hear a lot of people saying, yeah, my sales have been dropping on eBay. And a lot of them have the red door, blue door conspiracy. I don't know if you've heard that one that people
I mean,
they
there's a
say
lot
that
of
when
theories, you
yeah,
know,
they
as
say
to
when they see the
why.
blue door, their sales are down, and when they see the red door, they have good sales. I don't know if there's any truth in that, but the
Everything from
Google sound,
Cassini, like when I started, Cassini wasn't going on, and then Cassini came in, and then like right now I'm not top rated, and I'm working really hard to get it back. The defect rate is really hard, really deafening. I mean, I will give
it
my
is,
buyers
it's
whatever
tough.
they want. I will give them bend over backwards, but I have people open cases over things that are clearly visible in photos, and I have descriptions with measurements and everything clear. Buyers are not looking at descriptions anymore, especially with the advent of the mobile listings. And you know they do this on Amazon already. I've heard that, you
Yeah.
know, you can't rely on the description at all because, you know, as a rule, buyers just don't look at descriptions.
Well,
They're doing that
on
now
on
on eBay.
Amazon,
Hmm.
the problem with that is that you put your condition, so you put very good or good, but then you put your
Hmm.
condition notes and you describe it. And the problem is that on a mobile, they don't even see those notes. So if you say, "Oh, it's in good condition, but the cover's ripped," they're not like on a book, they're not going to see that bit that says, "But the cover's ripped." So they're just going to go, "Oh, good condition, great, I'll buy it." And the next thing you know, you're getting a neg for, and you're like, it was there," but they
Or on
don't see
eBay,
it.
you get a low DSR. I mean, in the new defect system, if they leave you a 3 star, which most likely people are most likely going to leave you 3 stars just because they're like that. They're like, and then if you get 3 stars, that goes against you as a seller, and it comes out of your top rated seller. And that the numbers that I run, top rated is everything to me. I mean, I could lose it just because someone doesn't like something and they don't even want to contact me. I've had that happen. You know, it's difficult to keep everybody happy, even though at 2.5 years of doing this, I'll give a buyer anything they want. I will.
Yeah,
I want them to
and
be
it
happy. I'm
hurts.
about offering good products these days, not just buying whatever I can and, making money off of it. I want to offer really, really high-end stellar items.
Yeah,
That's the fun of it for me now, is like being able to provide the customer with this beautiful St. John, you know, top that costs $500 in a boutique. You know what I mean? That like I found at the thrift store.
I think customer service is like it's becoming everything on eBay. I mean, it's so critical to do that and to answer every case and to just always not set the expectations too high, to like describe every single flaw and take pictures of every single defect. But
Yeah,
it's hard. Those new defect rate is scary. Like it just
it
takes a
is. I
couple of
mean,
cases out of 200 sales and it's you tank.
that's right. I mean, I mean, at the numbers that I do 200 and something items a month, and I'm all pre-owned. So like there could be a problem at any level. We're not selling new, easy out the door. Like there's always something that could come up with an item if I miss the thrift stores are dark. We always say that we get home.
Yeah.
I've sold stuff and seen a hole in it like at the very end. I'm like, oh my God, are you serious? Like that
Yeah.
happens all too many times. So things arise in the pre-owned category. Not that they don't in other categories, but I'm saying, we're like on Amazon, you can't send anything in that it has any dents or anything like that. Like on eBay, you can kind of still get away with all that stuff, but they're trying to raise the bar out of that. If you notice, they're trying to
Yeah, I
compete
have.
to keep up because there is
Yeah.
like just everything on eBay. I mean, have you seen some of the pictures? They're just
Oh
crazy.
my gosh, someone posted some today and it was just like this lady had all her stuff just in the middle of the filthiest, dirtiest room, just like draped over an armchair and super blurry. It's like, you're not going to last long when this top
I
rated seller
know.
thing really kicks in. It's not going to
I
work out
know.
well.
It's amazing how they sell. When I had the Facebook group, we were always posting other people's eBay photos, and like some of the craziest ones I seen was a jock strap. Like these people were selling jock straps. Oh, it was hilarious. And the guy took a
Oh
picture of it, in the mirror in his jock
no. No,
strap.
he wasn't wearing
Yeah.
it. He wasn't wearing.
Yeah.
No.
On eBay.
You
Yeah, it
know,
was
that
hilarious. It was a
might
listing. It
be
was a
like,
live listing. And then have you seen
you
the
know,
women who sell their shoes? They're like dirty shoes. Like, oh, those ones are
yeah,
good. They
yeah,
do like a foot
yeah.
fetish
I knew
thing.
someone.
Those ones are good. You'll see
Yeah.
them one time. You should look for them, like really worn men, like women's shoes, and you'll see they post their feet up like really sexy in these really used shoes. They sell a lot of shoes.
You're giving
I'm
away all
telling
my
you.
secrets here. This is my.
I exposed you finally. Now
Yeah.
they know how you're making all the money on eBay.
No, I've done like sanitary protection and like vintage like things like that. And I I
Mhm.
got I got a box of old sanitary pads from an estate sale. They sold for I
Wow.
think it was $90. 90 I think it was
Wow.
$90. Because they were like hospital ones, and apparently that's like a thing. So,
Some people, I mean, I've sold some weird stuff, not as like weird as some other people. Like, I watched a video you did about you had some crazy doll. It was
oh yeah,
like
the evil
some
doll.
scary doll or whatever. Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, I wouldn't sell that probably. But I've sold some pretty interesting things, like I sold a ukulele. My brother,
Oh, that's
he's
cool.
like the mad thrifter. He bought this ukulele and I was like, get rid of that thing. I hate that thing. I don't know why. He'd always play it, run around like playing it. I'm like, don't do that. So one day he's like, here, why don't you sell this ukulele for me? And I'm like, why? Nobody's going to buy this. And so I was like, fine, whatever. So I was selling stuff for him, and he's like, no, somebody probably wants this. He's like, look, it says San Clemente on the back. So I looked it up. Of course, it ended up being worth like $350. So I
Wow, that's
auctioned off
awesome.
this. Yeah, he got it at the thrift store for
So cool.
$15. And he just bought it because he's like,
Wow.
oh, he liked it. And so it ended up being worth a lot of money. So you never know what's worth money. I mean, I thought it was just, I just wanted to throw it away, and it was
So
worth
do you have
$350. So
that's so cool. Do you have like a minimum that you'll sell on eBay? Because I see people doing like 99-cent auctions And it takes me a while to list on eBay. I find listing on eBay really slow because I can't use
Hmm.
Turbo Lister because I've got a Mac. And I tried
Hmm.
Garage Sale and I just found that that wasn't working well with fixed prices. So to
Hmm.
me, I find on my phone it's fairly quick, but I do find it slow listing on eBay. So when I see people listing stuff for 99 cents, I'm like, am I just doing something wrong or are they crazy? Like I don't know. Do you have a minimum bar that you'll sell at?
I do. I sell certain. I won't like whatever I'll work for the hour. Like if I want to make $10 the hour, I want to at least charge $20 for the item because it's really an hour's worth of work to post something on eBay because you literally have to invest time in searching for it, cleaning it up, taking pictures of it. Then you got to take your list of things you took pictures of, go sit at your computer and list it, which takes more
Yeah.
time. And then, of course, you have to do everything else like answer customer emails, and you have to pack and ship the item individually, which, is another reason I want to look into Amazon because a lot of that's handled for you. And that's the back end of eBay. That's actually really difficult. There's a lot of work involved in that. And so I
You know,
list
I
10 to
love
12 items a day. That takes me 4 hours just to list. And then I pack and ship at least 10 items a day, give or take who pays, and that's at least 4 hours. So just in working my business daily, I work about an 8 hour day. And then I source, in between, I kind of squeeze in. Sometimes I don't have 10 items, sometimes I have seven. Sometimes I can skip a few and go out and shop. And then on Saturdays or the weekends, I source the whole time. So I want to make sure that I'm pricing my items accordingly. Like I'm looking for items in the thrift store that I can charge at least $29.99 for. That's
yeah,
my
yeah,
minimum that I like go for. And then typically I'll get home and then I'll process all of them and then I'll lower prices as I go to like 24.99. And sometimes I'll sell some men's shirts or men's shorts for 22.99 because people like that and like they'll buy that with free shipping. And those like camp shirts, not the Tommy Bahama ones or the higher end ones, but some of the polos and stuff, Ralph Lauren, a purple polo, you can get 22.99, and
hmm,
those are easy to ship and they're everywhere. And so like I don't want to go lower than that. And I just don't. And
yeah,
then I focus on shoes. So I focus on a lot of men's shoes, like men's designer loafers or men's comfort shoes. Those are kind of like my save all end all. Or like if seasonally I'll do coats, or I'll do dresses
yeah,
or I'll do men's shirts and dresses, depending. But I always rely on shoes and specifically higher end dress shoes or Italian shoes or higher end comfort shoes like the Fin Comforts and the Noats, things that are like people want and they're expensive
yeah,
in the store. So if you find them, they're like, oh, people are going to buy that. You know what I mean? You don't just find a pair of $250 comfort shoes and then no one's going to buy them on eBay. Someone's going to buy them. So
yeah.
if you're looking for those things, you can sell them and you don't want to let your items go for too low. I mean, it's like I'm hearing about on Amazon all these undercutting prices and things like that. Like people are crazy. We work for our time is valuable. We don't want to just jump in and undercut each other. It's like if people
Mm,
are going to be pricing things on eBay for $9.99, it is getting a little bit more difficult to sell shirts at certain price points if you're not doing like a theme of shirts, I'm noticing. Like I know the sellers are doing really well that are themed sellers, like all men's shirts, like, or the way that the presentation is matters. People aren't really buying from certain sellers that are selling a lot of random things, let's say, and they're including shirts in there. Or they're
do you
not
think
using
that's
mannequins.
important?
Or they
Do
are
do you
using
think that
mannequins. It depends.
do you think that having a store and organizing your store and having a lot of similar items is super important on eBay? Is that a thing?
I'm seeing men respond now. I don't have this, but I'm seeing men respond clearly very well to an all men's store rather than a men's
Okay.
women's store. In fact, I've even thought about opening an all men's store because men seem to respond better to men's stores and men shop on eBay. They go crazy on eBay shopping. I
Yeah.
list like Hugo Boss shirts and like really high end dress shirts like Robert Graham when I can find them, and like, gosh, I can't even think of the names right now. But basically, men love to shop on eBay because if they know their size and they know the dress shirt that they like or the shoe and the dress shoe that they like, they'll go for it. They'll buy it. Cole Haans, whatever they like, they'll go for them and they'll buy them. So think about all the men out there that are like in the $35,000 a year range that want to wear a Cole Haan, but they're like not really in that income bracket because, well, they might have one pair, but then they want another pair, so they go on eBay and
Hmm.
buy them. And that's
And
who
they
I
don't
cater
like
to, is
shopping.
like that crowd. And I
They don't
see
like
men
going to
who,
the stores.
they don't like going to the store. And I see men who do only men's shirts, and the way that they do them and the way that they present them and the way, like Rakin, Steve Rakin from Rakin Profits, he only does men's
Mhm.
clothes, specialty niche. I think that he sells his men's shirts easier than I do. I have trouble sometimes selling my men's shirts. It's going into each season, like I'll do well with men's sweaters, and then when I transition into like polos and other men's shirts, I see that maybe men tend to buy shirts more from other men. Or I'm not saying they know I'm a women's seller, but I do have women's clothes, and then maybe they know I'm a women's seller. I'm not sure, but I've been
That's
seeing trends for
interesting.
2.5 years now, and I'm seeing other sellers, their sales are higher, they get higher price points because they're all specializing in a men's niche. I'm
And maybe they
noticing that.
perceive the value and the quality is higher because maybe if they see a lot of things being sold, they're just like, oh, you're picking it up from thrift stores. Whereas if they see like one, they think it's like a legit store and it has that perception. I wonder if that's kind of
Yeah,
it.
I'm not sure, but like I've been thinking about opening just a men's store and like separating the men's and women's. Although I do really want to go and focus my time on Amazon because the thrift stores are raising their prices and it's just getting really tight. Like right around where I live in Denver, I live outside of Denver, just outside of Boulder, and basically like it's getting really hard to find stuff all of a
Do you
sudden.
ever do the outlets and the malls like that? Have you ever tried selling from retail and doing like retail arbitrage with like purses and shoes and
I have here and there, like at Ross, I did buy some Gucci purses, but I like the price point that I get at the thrift stores because I'm kind of a
that's
thrifty
yeah,
person, you know what I
get the
mean? I like
margin.
to stay. This is why I'm having trouble jumping into retail arbitrage because you need like a $10, $15 price range to work with to really get like double your money, I'm seeing. Unless you want to
Yeah.
do $10 items and then like, or $2 items and make $10. Do you know what I mean? Like, do that a bunch. But, having to spend $15 an item is a new thing for me. Like
Yeah,
I'm used
it's
to
hard
$4 and
getting used
$5
to
an
that.
item. I do
It's funny.
volume versus like small, well, volume you can do at $15 price point, but I'm not there yet. Even though I run a thousands of dollar operation, I'm still like, kind of like on the mellow when it comes to buying merchandise. I don't spend a lot of money
Yeah.
per item. I try and save money that way, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I think once you get used to those thrift store margins, it gets harder going retail shopping. And I can do
But
like retail arbitrage all morning, and then I hit yard sales, and I'm like, I just picked up $100 item for $2. Like,
right,
why was I in Walmart trying to
right.
find things I can get $5 on? Like, really?
Yeah, but the thing
Yeah.
about garage sales and rummage sales and all those things, even though they're great to go to every weekend, it's like really difficult to run around the clock operation like that. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm seeing the potential, the vastness of Amazon, the potential of, I mean, if me particularly, I kind of want to get into groceries. I love a challenge, and I really, really like the idea of doing, I'm gluten free like you, and
Oh,
I'm
cool.
non-GMO and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Eat pretty healthy. I'm pretty health conscious. I juice. So I'm really looking forward to getting some
I
of
got
these
Jamba
non.
Juice.
There you go. I like really want to get some of these of my favorite products from like some of the health food markets that I go to.
Yeah.
Bundle them up, multi-pack them, sell them on Amazon.
You
I'm
know
kind
what
of
I've
looking
been
forward to
doing?
doing that.
I have
There you
been
go.
selling these. These are
There you go. See?
gluten-free
Yep.
matzo balls, and
I've
I've
eaten
been
that
buying them
before. I
after
have.
Passover. After Passover, I think they were like $1 in
Our
bonds,
people
and I've been
need
selling
that.
them for $13 a box.
Yeah, and it's like
So
less than 1% of the market is gluten free on Amazon
yeah,
in the grocery department. Less than 1%. So that's like a clue that like, oh, there's an opportunity there. There's a lot of opportunity there. So I really want
everyone
to
I
do
know
that because
seems to be going gluten-free. I feel like all my friends, I keep saying, "Oh, by the way, I can't eat gluten," and they're like, "Yeah, I'm gluten-free now," and I'm like, "Wow, this is
right.
just
It's kind of like a
so it's
fad
such a
now.
yeah,
I mean,
which I'm
that's kind of
riding on because hey, it does us well if it's a fad. It's like a lot of people are like, this is a fad, but at the same time, it means there's more available for people that get sick. So
right. I
it's
mean, when I
I'm riding the
started
fad.
there were no
Mm.
gluten-free cookies in 2006 when I became gluten-free. So like now all the products that are available, I've been watching Suzanne Wells. She's the eBay selling. She used to
Oh
call
yeah,
herself the eBay selling coach. Now she's the online selling coach. She's great. She has a thing about selling groceries if you want to like really look at it.
yeah,
She really digs into how the military, Amazon ships to APO, FPO free. They
yeah,
do that all over the world. So the only one that does that, so like the military in droves, no pun intended, is buying all of their food supply, on Amazon because they want to like stock up on the carriers and things like that. They
yeah,
really want, the stuff of home that they really like. So they order on Amazon now and have it shipped to the carrier in all these little small packs, so there's a whole market out there even for that. And like, I don't know, I just don't like the feeling of being squeezed like all only having the thrift store and like because I've built a business model on like used clothes and shoes from the thrift store and like there's
mm,
only one thrift store in Colorado Springs besides the Goodwill and the Goodwill they've gone crazy. They've just gone crazy.
yeah,
And the other thrift store, the ARC that's here in Colorado, they're pretty off their rocker too. Like they've
yeah.
lost their
I haven't
mind.
been.
They're charging for
I used to
trash.
go to. I used to go to the Salvation Army, particularly like all the time. I was there every day. I don't think I've been in a thrift store in about a month because I
That's
just
what I
found the
want to do.
prices are get. Yeah.
Feel
I
like
do yard sales.
constricted. Yeah,
Well, I
I feel
just
like
sent
my
off.
market's so small.
I just ran up to UPS and I've just taken 7 boxes for FBA. They were pretty much all from an estate sale on Friday and yard sales and garage sales on Saturday. So I haven't been
Hmm.
doing the thrift stores, but I found like yard sales are just killing it for Amazon products because I found
And
a
you're
lot of
getting mostly
electronics,
new
books.
in boxes?
No, no, new and like new, and a lot of books. I've been doing lots and lots of books. I find there's like big
Hmm.
margins on books.
Hmm.
But a lot of electronics as well, especially at estate sales. I find there's a lot of gadgets and
Mm.
things like that. So I'm doing the
Yeah.
retail arbitrage as well, and the groceries and bundles. But I
Mm.
mean, I still find a lot of yard sales, but not thrift stores lately. Thrift stores are just
Yeah, I'm not finding anything to sell on Amazon at the thrift store. Like, I'm not finding anything to sell on eBay at the thrift store either. Like, it's dead in the water right now in Denver for whatever reason. So, I'm liking this idea of you going, like you're saying, going to estate sales. I have to unlearn what I can sell more because I'm not even understanding the categories yet. Like, what's open and what's not, and like what, because I know you can't sell new or used in like certain categories. So, I
yeah.
forget
And I think
what's to look
there's
for
been a
even at
lot of
estate sales.
confusion with Amazon categories just over the last month or two. It's kind of been shaken up a lot because
Hmm.
I think it started maybe like 6 weeks ago, and everyone was like, Frozen toys are super popular, or 2 months ago, everyone was all over Frozen toys and sent them in. The next thing you know, Amazon's sending out policy violations and saying Frozen toys are restricted because there's so many counterfeits. And then they gated at the same time they gated health and beauty and
Grocery.
groceries. So
Hmm.
new sellers couldn't sell in those without invoices. Now I'm hearing that people are getting into those with just receipts from like
Hmm.
Walmart, but it
Yeah,
seems very hit and miss. It seems a bit like they haven't quite sorted
I've
it
heard.
out. It's like they made all these rules and they're still figuring out how they're going to
Right,
actually implement it. But I feel like
right.
people are walking on eggshells with Amazon a lot at the moment. They're kind of
Yeah.
scared.
Yeah, and a lot of
And
people like I listened to the Spreecast with from the Thrifting for Profit. They're saying that a lot of people in health and beauty are getting their accounts closed for counterfeiting
yeah,
stuff, and there was big scares in that whole department. It's just like I can't even imagine losing my eBay business. That must just be
yeah.
terrible for the sellers that are having to go through that. That's just
And I think what's particularly scary with Amazon is if you're using FBA, you've sent all your product to Amazon and you have to pay
right,
50 cents to get it back. And if you've got like
right,
3,000 or more items, that's over $1,000 to get it all back if they close your account. So they do keep sellers very scared. That's like the downside to Amazon is that you're scared for your account. But I mean, I
mm-hmm.
don't
Because
know. A
all
lot of
your
people are very
stuff's there,
positive and
right?
yeah, and they're kind of holding your stuff hostage. So I do feel a
Mhm.
bit sort of like I'm in Jeff Bezos's pocket, but what can you do? The upside of it is that it's quick. I mean, I've just sent in 100 items and I got those from Friday and Saturday, and I've just scanned and shipped 100 items from Saturday and Friday in 2 days, 3 days. And I couldn't do that on eBay. I couldn't process 100 items on eBay. But with Amazon, you literally, I just sit with like bleh, with my barcode scanner and I just scan everything and just put a condition on it, and I'm done. I set a price and it's there. I just pack it
Yeah,
and
I need to get one
gone.
of those things, but I'm not at that level
Oh,
yet, you
they're
know.
cheap. They're like
You just,
$10, $15.
yeah,
They're
I don't
really
even know,
cheap.
what does that do? Does that scan your items into Amazon? That lists for you?
Yeah. So, no, all this does, it's just like a basic barcode. It looks cool like that. Um, it's just a basic barcode scanner. So you get all your products, your books, or like whatever it is, and it reads the barcode off and just writes that onto the space in the screen, so you don't have to be typing in the barcode all the time. So it makes it a lot quicker. But they're super cheap. So
Do you take
if you
that
do
with you
FBA
when you
or
go to the estate sales, or do you use that to list your
no.
products?
I use this to list my products. For estate sales, I use Scam Power. I'm kind of on the
Hmm.
fence with Scam Power. I'm not like I've been recommending it, but I do find it expensive. You can use
Hmm.
Amazon Seller app and you can use Profit Bandit,
Yeah.
and you just scan your product in the estate sales. And I love it because you can just pick up anything in a box at an estate sale, scan it, and see what it's selling for on Amazon, and see
Hmm.
the payout, what you get after the fees. So I feel like with
Hmm.
eBay, the fees are just, I have a hard time figuring out what the fees are going to be.
Yeah,
I just
I
kind of
pay
wait and
like
see.
$800 a month in fees. It's crazy.
Yeah,
It's so
oh my
expensive.
gosh. Well, I mean, with
A lot.
Amazon, you've got the fees too, but they take
Mhm.
them as you sell things. So you don't feel it as badly. It doesn't come back to bite you like it does with eBay. I feel like with
Right.
eBay, you
Yeah,
go, how much?
they take it once a month with eBay. Yeah, I see they could take it out from each sale and then you get the rest. And that's interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
yeah,
pay you. And PayPal also gets thousands of dollars from me. So
that's
that'd be
true.
kind of
So
nice
they're
to cut
double
out
dipping.
that middleman. No
Yeah,
PayPal
they're
with
really double
Amazon.
dipping. Yeah, I do like how Amazon works, and it feels like a paycheck because they pay you every 2 weeks. You get your payout every 2 weeks, and I'm like, great, I got paid. That's good. And you kind of almost feel like you're getting your paycheck from Amazon. But it is hard to
Right.
get used to not having that instant. Like I still eBay just because I like having the instant cash as well, and I can use my PayPal to go out for dinner or whatever I want to do.
Right.
So I kind
Right.
of like both. But money's always good.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you I saw in one video you said that you usually go out the night before. You look in your paper the night before, like Thursday, and find out where like the estate sales are. Do you use any websites to like find your estate sales or
Yeah.
anything like that, or do
So
you?
yeah, I kind of have a routine on so the estate sales here tend to go some start on Thursday, most start on
Hmm.
Friday. Friday's like the best day. And
Hmm.
Saturday they run Saturday as well, but that they tend to be sort of halfway in on Saturday. And then they usually go half price on Sunday. So if they
Right.
you see when they're running for. I use so I've got some tips. Estatesales.net
Great.
is the best site. That has
Yeah.
like the
Okay.
complete list. And I look at that.
Estatesale.net. Okay.
Yeah, and I go through all the pictures and look really carefully at the pictures. And I always try and see what's like at the back of pictures or what's hiding and try and get
Hmm.
clues as to what kind of sale it is. And what
Uh-huh.
I find is the ones that look super nice and have everything laid out beautifully are going to be really high priced and they're not going to be like the best sales for resellers. Whereas like the ones that are kind of hoardery and they have like
Yeah.
boxes, like I went to a hoarder sale on Friday and it was crazy. I spent $160 and I came out with like three
Nice.
boxes of new or nearly new electronics. And I've already
Nice.
sold like some of it for like $80, and like they're just they don't care. They're just sticking prices because they have such volume. So I look for hoarder sales and I look for private sales. So like
I see.
people, they're like, oh, grandma just passed away and we've got to get rid of
Right.
everything. And
Right.
I try and stay away from the super professional sales because I find they get
Right.
very expensive. And
Yeah.
there's also estatesales.org, and they don't have so many sales, but at the bottom, if you search by your area, they
Hmm.
trawl through Craigslist, and I find they
Oh.
come up with some of the weird private sales down at the bottom, just in text. So I kind of look at
Hmm.
those rather than the ones they're like showcase sales. So
Right.
I
Okay.
try and make like a little route around estate sales and do it that way. And
And
then
how
Saturdays are
many
just
will you go to? Like 8 or 5, or you just go all until like
not
3 or 4?
no. With estate sales, I'll just probably go to 2 or 3 because I
Mm.
find that the key thing with estate sales is to be like first in line and just to get there early. So I try and make the
Okay.
first one I go to the best one and just
Uh-huh.
line up and be ready for it. And it tends to be a bit of a get in there and grab everything. So I
Right.
try and have
I've
like a
been to
game
some that are
plan,
like that. Like a little
and
bit
I
like
try and have like
scary. You're like, whoa, buddy.
yeah.
People are grabbing stuff
I
and
try
they're
and have
like
a game
pushing
plan
you around.
of just like go to the bathroom, grab all the perfumes in the bathroom, go to the
Uh-huh.
bookcases, grab the best looking books. And I think you've just got to really
Aren't
be
doing
kind of
that. They're
aggressive.
looking for the furniture, and because people are looking at the furniture and like the
They are.
dinnerware, you know?
They are.
They're
Yeah, and
trying to
looking
get
for
the
the silver
antiques.
and
They're not looking at the books yet, really. I mean, there's some booksellers at estate sales, but
oh, I've
that's a
got
good
some
point.
aggressive ones.
Really?
There's one guy here who's very aggressive and I see him everywhere. I'm like, oh,
Oh,
this
really?
guy's it.
Oh, that sucks.
He's Russian and he gets very angry and he kind of yells
Uh-huh.
at people. So I try and keep out of his way. But yeah,
Yeah.
there's some book selling. But then on
I have
Saturdays,
gotten
my go ahead.
I've gotten in some near scuffles over some things at yard sales, though. I literally had a woman buy
Yes.
a like a Brighton, literally like Brighton is like a they make bags and purses and jewelry, and it's
Hmm.
Italian stuff. It was basically a Brighton jewelry set, and it was literally like worth $350. And the woman right in front of me was like, "Oh, look, a Brighton jewelry set." And I was like, "Oh my God." I was looking at her like, "Put it down. No, you don't want that." Like trying to like evil her to like make her put it down. And she's like, "How much for this?" to the woman. And she's like, "Oh, for that, just $5." And I was just like, oh my God. I wanted to just be like, psh, jump
You
on
can
her
always
and
say,
grab
"I'll
it.
give you
But
20."
I know I should
I've
have, but
done
I
that.
was just like, I was so speechless. It was early too. So I was like,
You know,
I just felt like I'd been attacked.
I
I've
did
had
that
some
over a
near,
printer once.
I
I
bet.
had someone saying $10, $10, and I went, "I'll give you 15." And the other guy just looked at me like, "What?" And he went, "I'm not paying 15 for it." Oh, I started an
There you
auction at a
go.
yard
I
sale.
should have. I should have been like, I'll give you 20, but I don't know. They looked so happy. I was just like,
Yeah.
I was just out of there. Couldn't believe
Oh,
I didn't see it
oh, it's
first.
good karma.
Yeah,
It's good
but
karma
I
for
did,
you.
I mean, I've walked into estate sales. I did estate sales for a while in the beginning because I got so into collectibles for a while there, and then I really
Yeah.
stopped getting into collectibles when I had to ship collectibles by myself.
Oh,
Creating boxes for things and double boxing stuff and peanuts and stuff.
bubble wrap.
I can't. Yeah, I get so easy to fold a shirt or wrap a pair of shoes up and send them out. So shoes and clothes just became my niche.
Yeah.
But like, I really wanted to I found one of those Starbucks mugs. That's what got me into
Oh,
collectibles. I found a Mount Rainier Starbucks mug, an original Seattle. I found it at a yard
wow.
sale for 10 cents. Someone
Uh-huh.
sold it to me for 10 cents. It was right when I started doing eBay. So I was like, oh, it's like a yard sale. I'm like, oh, I had seen a blog about Starbucks mugs. So I was like, oh, look, there's a Starbucks mug. Cool. I was like, great. So I just bought it. And then it ended up being the Starbucks mug. I was like, wow, this is
Yeah.
so cool. eBay was so cool in the beginning because I was making all this money off these, like, I bought a bird head brass, faucet. I got like $150 for it. And I was like, wow, like I had some kind of eye where I would just pick antiques and things and they would just sell, but they're so hard to ship, you know? It's
Yeah.
so hard to ship that stuff. I don't really like it so
I don't
much.
know, with those Starbucks mugs, I'd be shipping those all day if I could find those there. Yeah.
I haven't found one since. I mean, I found one that had a broken handle. It was like a Scotland one. I was like, no, no, I don't want to sell
Oh,
anything that's broken or ruined. Buyers do not like that. You don't want to sell anything. So I had to let it
yeah.
go. I've had to let so many.
I got the.
I mean, I found like Ralph Lauren purple label polos
Oh,
in the
cool.
shirt. I lived in Colorado Springs in right near the Broadmoor Hotel. It's like a well-known, world-renowned hotel. There's like, the Olympic Center's down there. literally find some really nice things down there. And basically, it was faded, to the point where I mean, the worst thing is finding the highest designer thing you can find in a thrift store and having it be like a hole in it, It's the
Oh,
worst. It's
yeah.
really hard having to leave
Oh,
something
that's
like that, because you just want to sell stuff like that, but can't sell
yeah.
everything. But I'm really excited
So
about going to the bathroom. I've heard great things about the bathrooms at estate sales. You have to tell me. So
that's
you
my
look for
secret.
perfume.
That's
Yeah, what
yeah.
else do you
That's
like?
my big
Perfumes, and do
secret.
you ever
Oh,
find
and the
like
sanitary
razors
towels.
or
Well, the
yeah.
sanitary pads are always one. I found supplements and like body lotions if they're in sealed packs. A lot of like
Mm-hmm.
the one I went to on Friday was a QVC HSN junkie, and she had a lot of
Really?
sealed like lotions and like weird brands that I hadn't heard of, like Alaria, but
Uh-huh.
they sell for like $30 a jar. So they were selling
And you
them off
sell
for
them on
about a
eBay or
dollar.
Amazon?
Yeah, eBay.
You sell
And
them on eBay.
yeah, I sell things like that on eBay just because I sell things that I'm really sure of on Amazon. If I have
Yeah.
any doubt about it, and things like perfume, if it's used, I'll put it on eBay. I won't sell that on Amazon. And I think it's okay. Like I know you can't sell used cosmetics on eBay, but they're more cool about perfume. They see that
Hmm.
as a collectible. So I'll
Hmm.
sell perfumes on eBay. And I'll sell if I can find any sealed cosmetics or like I saw someone sold a set of eyeshadows the other day and they were a beautiful vintage eyeshadow and I think they got like $60 for them. So there's a
Wow.
lot of money in old bathroom stuff and anything that's sort of vintage or collectible. But perfumes, I just go in and I just grab all the perfumes because
Hmm.
unless there's like two ways estate sales handle it. They either sell them super cheap or they go,
Right.
oh, perfume, and they price it high. So it's kind of the luck of
Right.
the draw. But if they're cheap, I'll grab them because they almost always sell well. So,
Oh, that's good. And
but
then
yeah,
what else do you focus on for Amazon from estate sales specifically? I noticed you had like a Monopoly game in one of your videos and like I could
yeah,
see
board
like that would
games.
catch my eye, but like do you sell income do you sell games that are not new?
Yeah, I do, but they have to be complete. So
I've heard
I'll sell
this.
used games, but they have to be complete. So
You will get the
you kind
pieces.
of yeah, and there's a lot of things, things like labels and stationery and like pen
Right.
sets. Like I find
Mm-hmm.
Avery labels, you can make good
Yeah.
money off those, and those are often
Mm-hmm.
at what else at estate sales? I just oh filters. Any like if you go in the garage, anything like refrigerator filters, swimming pool filters, like anything like that, and people never look at them. They just go, oh, what a boring box, and they used to
Right.
sell them off for
No
like a
one's
dollar.
looking for
Like
those at an estate sale. They want the like crystal, they want the collectibles and the
yeah.
antiques and the paintings and the furniture.
Yeah,
That's what people
and they're
want.
just leaving money on the table right there. It's like that was a $45 box selling for a dollar,
Yeah,
and
I
you just
saw
left it
that
there.
one video
Okay.
you did about the one doll magazines, where all those doll
Oh yeah.
magazines. That
Yeah.
was pretty trippy.
Yeah.
You'd never think to like, even the booksellers weren't even thinking to look in uh, the,
Yeah. There were
business
so many.
racks.
You know, my living room is still full of those racks. I have like 20 racks of magazines that I just need to sort through. They're all like crafting ones. And I talked to another lady who'd been to that sale, and she said she got a load of Afghan patterns, and she's been selling
Wow.
those for like 20 or $30 each. And
On
we were buying
Amazon?
them in the folders. On eBay, but I
On
sold some
eBay.
on Amazon. I sold some pattern books on Amazon for like I don't know. There was one went for about $30, and it was just how to make beaded animals. So
Hmm.
it's often, and I went to one sale that was they were all into gems and necklaces, and their whole garden was full of like gemstones and rocks. Like they were obviously
Mhm.
they collected them and they faceted them, and I found like a little brochure and it just looked like a pamphlet. It was so small. It was like that big, and it was how to facet
Hmm.
gemstones. And I think it went for
Wow.
$50 on Amazon. Like it looked like nothing. It looked like junk, and it sold like really well. So
Hmm.
I always go through books, even like the really small, crappy looking books. They're worth it. Um, But and any gadgets, I mean, gadgets always do, like, whether
Gadgets.
it's a GPS system or
Can you sell used
anything.
electronics on Amazon?
Yeah, you can. I'm careful about it. I'll only sell used things if they really look new. And I hate testing things. I hate the like I don't know. I don't want to test routers and like
Right.
modems and so
Yeah.
I'll only sell things on
I mean,
Amazon like printers. I love printers, but I find a lot of new printers at yard sales or nearly new. And if the ink's
mhm,
sealed, I'll sell it. But if they don't have the ink and it looks like it's been used, I won't bother. But if the ink's
mhm.
still sealed, and I find like a printer every other week, and they sell for like 150 on Amazon. So it's like send it in, FBA, shipping's cheap because you're doing it through
And
FBA.
it's like someone
And
has a printer in their garage and they never used it, you mean? Like, but it's still in the
yeah,
box? Hmm.
yeah, I find that all the time. I find so many people get printers and never use them. I don't know why. I don't know
That's
what.
hilarious. I found a theme like that with juicers around. People were selling a lot of, like one year there was just a lot of juicers at the garage sales. Or like
They're
one
Christmas
time
gifts.
people get like dehydrators and juicers and they leave them in their garage and they never use them. And they just sit. But this
Yeah.
printer, that's interesting that's another thing that's like one of these phenomenon. But so you can sell used electronics, but you have to be really careful. Can you sell medical equipment on, or is that
Mm,
health and beauty?
Yeah, you can't sell used medical equipment and you can't sell anything that's like I had a TENS machine. I've picked up a TENS machine and then I realized I couldn't sell it because it's like FDA. You need the FDA approval on it. So it's counted as a prescription device. So you have to be really careful with things like that. And there was something else I saw that was a prescription device. But
Hmm.
if it's like a beauty thing, like a face mask or curlers or something like that, or rollers, yeah, you can, those are fine. You can sell those. But I
Hmm.
think the main thing with Amazon is that the buyers are super, super fussy. So you just, whatever you sell, you have to be aware that, okay, this person's expecting Amazon quality. Am I providing that? Whereas I feel with
Hmm.
eBay, you've got like a little bit more slack that people are
You
like, okay,
do.
it's a used item. It's more the yard sale kind of mentality, whereas Amazon people are thinking like it's like a retail store. So,
That's right.
so
Yeah, that's why I'm like thinking about how much you can find at yard sales for Amazon, but I guess it's more than you can find anywhere else. I mean, you can do retail arbitrage to find things, but you can also do yard sales and garage and estate sales, like you're saying, and find the good ones, do what you're
yeah,
doing is plan out a route, not just like think about it on Saturday or Friday, like, well, I wonder if there's some estate sales, like that's kind of where
yeah. I
I'm
mean,
at
I can
now,
get,
like with Amazon. I'm like, I wonder if I'm gonna go retail arbitraging,
yeah,
because
I
I'm
can
running
get
my
in three
EV
days a week.
business.
Yeah, I can
You
get
do
in
what?
3 days a week of source, 3 days a week of sourcing. I can do Thursday, Friday estate sales, Saturday yard sales, and then like I can spend the next 2 or 3 days packing and FBAing that. So I mean, I try and mix it up and do retail arbitrage as well, but I just haven't had a lot of time lately for retail. So I think
Hmm.
nearer Christmas, that's when I'm really going to hit the retail. That's when the margins are bigger there,
But
especially
you're not so
groceries.
you're not including any like you don't do dollar store regularly or anything like that regularly, or you just go
Yeah,
to like
I
Walmart
do.
here and there.
I go to Walmart here and there. I've got one Walmart that does really good clearance, so I hit that pretty often. And
Hmm.
I do the dollar stores before each holiday, and I kind of
Right.
like focus on doing seasonal stuff from dollar stores and bundling it.
Utilizing the dollar store for that. Do you
Yeah,
ever go to like
yeah,
sporting goods stores to in like because I know Dick's Sporting Good over here is having a big clearance. Would you go to that?
yeah, I probably would if I was in like if I knew about it, I was in the area. I'd yeah, I mean, and I think actually that's a really smart thing to do because I think a lot of like you look in groups like Scanner Monkey and a lot of people are going to the same stores. They're all hitting Toys R Us and the really big
Hmm.
box stores. And like I've gone to places like Bed Bath and Beyond and found really good things there. And you don't hear people talking about those kind of stores so much.
Right.
Yet the specialist stores have a lot. I mean, I found there's a store here called Daiso that's like a Japanese store, and it's a Japanese dollar store. So
Yeah,
I
you were
found like
saying that.
origami paper, and it's
That's
kind
right.
of. I think the secret got out because last year I was killing it with Daiso. I sold so much origami paper and things like that. Too many people got onto it and started selling against me and crash the prices down. So the only way I find now is bundling to really do well out of that.
Mhm.
But
I tell you,
I think
that
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 go
happens.
ahead. Yeah.
I've noticed
It
it happen here and there.
it's funny. There was a conversation. I think it was in Thrifting Lounge today. And someone said, "What do you say when your friends ask you where you buy things?" And it was interesting seeing the variety of responses. Like some people are like, "Well, if I tell them, I'd have to kill them. I'm not giving away my
Right.
sources." And I feel like at this point now I'm just like, oh, this is where I go. I go to this store, and I pick up this, and like I feel like it keeps me on my toes.
It
And
does. I know what you mean. You're obviously a little bit ahead of the game. I mean, you've been doing FBA Amazon already for a while. I mean, even though you got into it late,
yeah,
well, kind of, right? I mean, you said like
I've only been
2010
doing
or
it 2 years. Two
yeah.
years.
So I've been
Yeah,
doing mine 2.5, so full time. Well, 2.5
yeah,
full time. I think almost 3 years, because I was working while I was beginning it. So um,
yeah,
it's the same amount of time. We're both pretty recent to this game, but you
yeah.
have a lot of wherewithal on how to like do a lot of things. So giving away things isn't so
I
uh
keep changing the
worrisome for
game. I
you.
keep finding.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
you're just gonna switch it up again and figure something else out. You know what I mean? You're not like stuck at trying to figure something out. You're moving on, which is good. That's how you're going to continue to have a business. That you use two platforms even is ahead of the game. Do you know what I mean? I
yeah. I
thought
think
that's why I was like inspired. I heard you on a Spreecast for Thrifting for Profit, and I was like, right, selling on Amazon. I really have to do this. I really have to do this, because she's still, you go to state sales and garage sales. I could
yeah,
still do that and not have to change so much.
yeah,
Always
yeah.
like
It's still
giving up the,
similar. Yeah,
it's still
yeah.
similar, but not have to give it all. What other categories do you sell in that you seem to find a lot of at the garage sales? I know you say you sell some electronics, you look at the bathroom, you do some
Toys.
books,
A lot of
toys.
toys and games.
Can you sell used
Um,
toys? I know these are dumb questions. People in Amazon are
yeah,
like, of course you can sell used
no,
toys.
it's that's
I know
actually a really
I've
good
never listed
question.
anything on Amazon. I don't know anything about it.
No, that's a really good question. The toys is really strange on Amazon. So they say no used toys, but then they give you the
Okay.
option of collectible. Now there's a big debate over what's collectible. I mean, like some things
Mm,
like action figures, obviously collectible, but you see people selling things that are currently in Walmart as collectible instead of
oh.
used. Now, as far as I know, Amazon are very lax about it and they don't police it. They like if you sell a used game as collectible, they're probably not going to come after you. But I
Hmm.
would say that it probably has to be something that's not currently selling and not currently available. I
I
think
see.
it's kind of dodgy selling like I don't know a collectible version of like a Frozen toy. I don't think you'll get away with something like that. So toys really should be new. I think board games I mean, board games are collectible. If they're out of print, they're collectible. And I think if they are in print and they're used, they're not really worth anything. So I
Game
would keep
consoles.
used. Sorry, I didn't hear.
What about game consoles or like
Yeah,
Xbox? Those have to be new?
yeah. No, you can sell those used.
Oh,
I
you
would say
can.
for Amazon, that you should like have them in the original box. Like I know someone was selling Guitar Hero controllers, and I think she was selling them not in the box, and she was having problems with the warehouse. And I wouldn't go there. I would sell
Oh,
those only if they're in the box, or I'd put them on eBay. I wouldn't sell anything not in the box.
I
And I don't
see.
think they're worth much not in the box on Amazon. I don't.
So
I
what
like
do you use? Like, what's your base, what's your like stuff that you have that sells all the time? Is it books or is it your bundles or is it your toys or what do you see like your patterns are for your higher selling or your better selling areas or
It's really seasonal. At
Mhm.
the holiday time, it's definitely bundles and seasonal products.
Right.
Like at the moment, I've just had 4th of July stuff like out the wazoo.
Yeah,
I've
you were
been
just
doing like all
finishing all
the
your bundles up. Hmm.
yeah. But books, I mean, books to me are a staple. I probably send in about 3 boxes of books every week.
Yeah, like what
So
is that, 150? Or
yeah,
is that
about
50?
I probably send. not that many. I probably send in like 50 to 100 books every week.
Okay,
So
what kind
books are
of profit do
essential.
you see off that? Because that's kind of what I want to know. Like if I started out doing like some things and then like, if I sent in like 50 to 100 items a week, books, let's just say they
Yeah.
were books.
Okay.
What would
I
that
mean,
be?
books is a big subject, but so a lot of
Right.
books on Amazon, the majority of books are like penny books. You'll see if you scan like, I don't know, all the common books like What to Expect and Chicken
Yeah,
Soup for the Soul and 50 Shades, those aren't worth anything because they're like people are selling them for a penny plus shipping.
right. Yeah,
So
I've
I
kind of
stay
like
well,
gotten into like I've been scanning some books, trying, and
yeah,
I'm like I found a few $100 books, and I understand like I've been
great,
watching a lot of Picking Profits, and like there's a lot
yeah.
of long tail with books and stuff, but like when you do it like on a weekly basis, like if I were to get it going and have it be going and know how to do it, what kind of like profit do you think profit do you see from 50 to 100 books a week? Like
You
just
know,
on your
it
book sales, do you know?
it depends where I'm sourcing. I mean, like some of them will just sell and I'll make $5 on them, or even $2 or $3 on them.
Right.
And then some of them, I mean, I'll send in books that I can, like I just sent in a bunch of architecture books because I hit a yard sale at the weekend and it happened to be an architect selling off his books. So
Mm,
I've just sent in like 20 architecture books. So from that,
mm,
I expect to see about 200 to $300, but probably
mhm.
spread out over the next 3 months. Because what I
I
find is
see.
books don't sell, the expensive books you have to
They're
wait on,
long
they don't
tail.
sell straight away. So
Mhm.
I just keep sending them and waiting for the long tail. And it works. I mean, it's hard to say what the exact return is, but over like each week, I probably make a few $100s each week off books. But
Mhm.
it's spread out. So it's
So,
really just about
uh,
where you source. Just look for, I mean, like yard sales in like expensive areas and nice areas tend to have a lot of books, or near universities or colleges. That's like the
which I
place to go,
live
like textbooks. Yeah.
right. I live right by Boulder. And do you like what did I want to ask you? It's like, okay, so do things sell on eBay, on Amazon FBA like they do on eBay? Like there's the phenomenon of eBay where you list it and it will sell. Like I understand the platform of eBay, but I'm thinking in terms of switching to a new platform and like I don't
Yeah.
understand how I see the machine. I know it probably works, but I have no practical experience of it. Does it, you just have to answer my question just to help me a little bit. Does it
Sure.
actually work like eBay where like if I were to list, I list, 50 items a week, right? Well, I would list 100 items a week almost right now, like 65. And I see a certain return from that. Is it the same with Amazon FBA? You send in a certain amount of product and you see a return and because you kind of did your math right and that's what you experience over and over again?
Yeah, usually. I mean, I have a good idea where my profit is going. Like, I find it fairly steady on Amazon. I find my return is fairly steady. And I'm trying
Steady.
to keep growing it and I'm trying to build it. But I found it is really seasonal. Like at Christmas, I was making 4 times what I'm making now, and I
I see.
know that it's gonna go. And honestly, at Easter and Valentine's, I mean, there's definite peaks because I tend
Hmm.
to focus on seasonal products. And I think now is like the lowest, it's like the worst time for Amazon. Um, but I know it's going to climb again in back to school, Halloween, Christmas,
Right.
and it's going to start climbing again all from September all the way up to Christmas. So
I
it's very
see.
much you kind of got to have faith that it's going to, if if you've done your research, you've checked the rank, you've checked Camel, and I mean, that's a great tool. If you've used Camel, you can see exactly how many times each product's selling and make a
Right.
good
And
prediction
and then
of
so
when
if
it's
you
going to
buy the
sell.
product and you send it in, it's then likely to sell within a certain amount of time because it's
Yeah,
available on Amazon FBA. Okay.
right.
And
I
like,
think the thing that's unpredictable with Amazon is price. And I think if
yeah,
you're selling popular products like toys, I think the scariest part of that is that another seller can come on and just kill the price. They can sell it like half your price, and suddenly you've lost all your profit. which is why I'm not a big fan of doing like Toys R Us and selling a lot of like popular toys, just because I see
Yeah,
so many prices crashing to the bottom.
I'm not
Whereas
so
like
interested.
bundles
I'm
protect you.
Yeah, right. Bundles do because who can think of your bundle? I mean, not really. No one.
Yeah,
I mean, I did see, I went on there and looked at like, just like Googled, like, or went on Amazon and Googled some different ideas I thought people would do for bundles
yeah,
just to see what's out there. And I see people are doing it, but it's not, I mean, FBA is so, I heard the last statistics were something like 2 million FBA sellers. And I think with the advent of the new music streaming, the free music streaming they're offering with Prime, I think they jumped from
yeah.
10 million to 12 million or 15 million or
Wow,
something like that, Prime
that's
members. So
cool.
I'm not sure exactly, don't quote me, but I know they had a significant increase when they added the music. So they went from 10 million to I think like 13 million. So
Wow.
imagine there's only 2 million Prime sellers. So, let me ask you a
And
question
those,
about a book. Like if you're scanning a book and you see that there are no FBA sellers, do you buy that? Do you buy that book? You just buy it
I'll
because
look
there
at
are
the
no
rank.
FBA sellers?
Yeah, I probably will, but I will look at the rank and I'll look at Camel Camel and see whether it's ever sold in the past. If it's ever sold in the past, there's a good chance it'll sell again. If it's never sold, I don't know. I mean, it depends what it is. If it's something that I think has a chance of selling, I'll buy it if it's cheap. If it's like a $20 book to buy and it's never
Right.
sold, I probably leave it alone. So it's kind of
Hmm.
a game you've got to do. Hey, I want
Oh
to
yeah.
address something you said about the Prime. I think that's such a good point because Prime is like your biggest selling point with FBA. Because if you send things in with FBA, people will buy at a much higher price just because they see
Mhm.
Prime on it. Like I had some
Mm.
peeps. I think I told this story a couple of
Yeah,
weeks
something
ago,
about this.
and I had peeps, and they sold for 22.99, and there was a merchant fulfilled seller selling them for I think $14. Mine sold $8 higher than his just because they were Prime, and his price was including shipping. So someone will
Hmm.
pay that much difference just for Prime. And I
Hmm.
kind of use that as an example for why I love FBA, just because
Hmm.
people will pay that premium. And the more people signing up with Prime, that's like great news for us. That's so good.
Yeah.
It
I mean,
is.
I have some friends who are, see, I've been on Amazon for years, haven't we all?
Yeah,
And I
yeah, yeah.
actually love Amazon, but I'm not Prime. I need to be. I'm like gonna do it now finally. But like, I have a few friends who are, and I know that these people, Prime people, they will pay the extra money. Like the people that I know, they're a little higher class, and they like things, they like to have their products. So I can feel a real huge thing going on with Amazon FBA. And if there's certain niches and markets you can get into, like you're doing with seasonal and
Yeah.
bundling, and if you just think a little ahead of the curve with Amazon, you're on the right. I think that it's just gonna it's ahead of the game with what they're offering for not only the customers, because we're all Amazon customers. Don't you feel taken care of by Amazon? I mean, I've been selling on eBay for quite a few years now, and I feel like it's like a foreign entity that I can't even get at, really. I mean, I've been to eBay conventions. I went to the eBay event in 2011 in Denver, and I still can't wrap my brain around what goes on at eBay. But Amazon, I feel like is like the grown up, way to buy online. So like I just kind of feel like as a seller, I'm ready to move into a new kind of grown up marketplace, come out of the thrift store, go into the Walmart, which seems so weird because I don't know. I'm not so big on Walmart myself. This is kind of why I want to get into grocery because I want to do,
You know,
I want to offer gluten-free products online. I think that'd be so cool, you know?
I think what's cool with Amazon is that you can scale it, and it's like really what you put into it is like you can move into wholesale, you can buy things wholesale and sell those,
That's
and
right.
you can just keep hitting it and keep growing. And
Keep
I think
growing.
the problem with eBay, you're kind of limited by your time. There's only so much you can list, only so much you can ship. Whereas Amazon, I mean, the people I really want to emulate are the people who are buying wholesale, getting the boxes shipped to them, and they're just shipping them straight back out to Amazon at a markup. I mean, that's such an easy business plan, and I'd love to be moving
I
in that
know,
direction.
right?
I think that's
Yeah,
where it's at,
that is
and
the good
Amazon gives
direction to
you
go
that.
in.
Yeah. And
Also,
I'm seeing people doing it.
also doing this whole thing about, creating your own product or whatever this is, that caught my attention
Yes.
right away. I thought,
Yeah. The
wow,
private
really?
labeling. Yeah.
Private labeling, now that could be
Yeah.
something, like there's
Yeah.
money to be made on Amazon. There's still, yeah, the low-hanging fruit is all gone, blah, 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 yes. But there's still money to be made on eBay. I mean, I had just had one of my biggest sales ever. I literally like it makes me wonder why I would leave eBay, but the truth is it's just time to expand the
Yeah.
market. But I found a vintage Chanel bag that I sold.
Oh, wow.
I found it at the Goodwill down the street from my house in Colorado Springs. So I lived relatively close to an affluent area. And basically this Chanel bag sold the first time it sold at auction for $2,000. It was some kind of, yeah, the most
Oh,
expensive.
wow.
I got it for $4.99 at the Goodwill. It was real. I
Oh,
got it
that's
authenticated at Authentication for You. It's some kind of, estate sale, like old purses and stuff. People collect
yeah.
stuff. This Chanel bag was like it was crocodile. It's highly collectible.
Oh, I bet it was gorgeous. That's so
It's
cool.
pretty, yeah. It was, I mean, it was kind of funky looking though at the same time. But basically the
Can you send
buyer
me
didn't
a link?
pay.
I want to see
I'll
this.
send
You
it
got
to
to
you.
send me a link.
Yeah, I'll show it to you. So the
So
first time it
cool.
sold, the buyer didn't pay. Went from the most ecstatic experience I've ever had on eBay. I was like, oh my God, my best sale ever. To basically the buyer didn't pay. And really that kind of was, I think, the last straw for me. And on some level, I was like, I can't do this anymore. I was under so much stress at the time. I just moved. I was bringing on a business partner and trying to formulate this whole plan. And basically I was relying on that money. She didn't pay. And I tried to call her and I tried to contact her and I even sent, report the buyer, unpaid item case, never paid, never heard from her. So, for fine, I just moved on, like we always
Oh,
do. I mean, it was a blow, to me, but I moved on and I listed the bag at 16.95 because I really wanted to get someone quick, you know what I mean? And I knew what the bag
mhm.
was worth. I knew people were willing to pay 2,000. Oh, sorry, actually I tried to do 18.95. No one bought it. Oh, I did a 4-day or 5-day auction at 18.95. I thought, okay, all these people are going to come back. They're going to buy this bag. Nobody bought it. No one showed any
Mm.
interest. I was like, oh no, no one, the hype is over. No one's going to buy it. I had lost my top rated seller status within that 2 weeks. I had a lot of people really rely on that, and I was like,
Yeah.
someone's not going to get this bag. So I lowered the price to even a little $200 more. I listed it for 16.95. And
Hmm.
I just was like, that's what we're gonna do, someone's gonna get this bag and whatever. And boom, in a few days, somebody bought it for 16.95. Somebody in
That's
Las
still a great
Vegas.
return. But
It
what
is
a return
amazing.
on $5.
$5. That's the best sale I've ever had on eBay. It's the most money I've ever
Wow.
got for an item. It's the most highest price item I've ever. I'll post the link in your face. Do you want me to send it over now, or can I
Yeah.
post the link in your
Yeah.
Facebook group?
Post it in the
Okay.
group. Post it in the group. I want to see this. This sounds amazing. That's so
Yeah, it was
cool.
actually, I mean, it was, beyond. I've sold some. I mean, I found this Laurel Pena Horsey Olympic jacket, 1992, because I tell you, I live near the Olympic Center here in in Colorado Springs. Anyways, I got
Yeah.
like $800 for this jacket. I paid twenty
Oh,
dollars for it.
wow.
I know brands. I know Laurel Pena is a cloth maker out of Italy because I sell men's blazers. I love selling men's clothes. Men's blazers are the best. Dressing up the man, putting the suit on and taking the pictures. I love the men's blazers. I've made a lot of money selling men's blazers on eBay. In fact, Steve Rakin wrote an ebook about it. It's actually really good. He did
Oh,
an
cool.
interview with me and posted it in the CD. So there's like an interview
Oh,
of
that's
me
cool.
talking about selling blazers because um, I don't know,
That's awesome.
I love
So,
men's
I see
clothes.
Nick's asking, what are the top 5 brands you like to pick? I'd love to hear an answer to this question. Can you
Okay,
say what your top 5 brands?
well, does he mean, okay, so he has to be specific. Does he mean men's or like, okay, I'll do a combination. So I love, so let's do a couple men's. So my favorite top
Sure.
5 men's brands are probably Paul and Shark, um, Pendleton. I love
Oh,
selling
Pendleton,
Pendleton.
yeah.
Ralph Lauren is definitely up there because I do sell a lot of chino jackets and like different
Hmm.
Ralph Lauren. I love polo, Ralph Lauren polos. Robert Graham is also a big time favorite of mine. And then, I was into like Italian blazers. I was into selling a lot of blazers. So like Laurel Pena, I've already mentioned that. I love camel hair, selling camel hair blazers, men's camel
Oh
hair
yeah.
blazers. That's hard to say. And then for women, J. Crew is always a staple for me. It's sold
Oh
across the board
really?
over and over again. It's
Oh
trendy, it's popular. Women love it. They go crazy over J. Crew. Girls, young girls,
yeah.
and we're catering to a certain crowd, 25 to 35, or at least I am in my niche. And it's like the office worker, the person that wants to like wear a nice outfit. And then
Didn't
for women
Michelle Obama
also,
say that she always wore J. Crew? I think Michelle Obama said that was like her favorite brand. She
it's
always wore
very
J. Crew.
classy. People love it. And then, of course, Ralph Lauren for women as well. And then it
Yeah.
depends on what area I'm doing. Like if I did cashmere for a really long time. I lived off cashmere, and almost any
Mm,
cashmere sells. If you can find a
yeah.
designer cashmere, you're doing really well. But almost any cashmere sweater will sell at $24.99 free shipping because cashmere is valuable and people love it.
And
So I
it's
did a lot
light.
of cashmere. And then like women like trendy brands like BCBG, Free
Yeah.
People, they all the anthropology labels are really hot.
Oh yeah.
And it's hard
I
to
picked up
narrow
a.
those down.
I was just talking to Kevin about it. I picked up a Free People hoodie at the weekend for $2, and it's still got the tags on, $97. So I'm
$97.
excited to sell that. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll sell
No.
that right away. New with tags, Free People. I mean, come on.
Oh,
And then there's
you
like
broke up.
specialty brands for women, that like high end designer brands like St. John and Escada Sport,
Yeah.
and then like gosh, I can't even think of them. Oh, it's hard to bring the names up because it's getting late here.
Yeah.
So I'm having trouble.
Yeah.
But
We should
basically, like
start wrapping up in a
trendy
minute.
brand. Oh, Eileen Fisher's really good. Like we're talking $100. Oh, Diane Fergenstein. I can't even say it. Diane Ferg. I don't even know how
Oh,
you say it.
yeah,
DF
I know. First,
DBF. Diane
yeah,
von
Furstenberg.
Fergenstein.
Furstenberg.
I don't know. Designer labels are hard to pronounce, but I
Yeah,
know I
yeah.
can recognize them from across the room. Etro, ETRO is also like a high end label that's just like you can
Oh,
get
okay.
50, $60 for it on eBay because it's 500 and $600, Like Robert
I
Graham, if you
think
go to
that
their
the trick is
website.
that they're like niche products. They're like niche names. Like everyone knows like Chanel and Gucci and all the big names. Whereas like the niche ones, I haven't heard of Etro. That's a great one. And people get really addicted to certain brands. If they've
Or
found one thing
Vice
in a brand,
for
they
women
they
is really
keep
good.
hunting down.
Vice. Yeah, they
Nice.
go, you got to go like really wide. Like just like what I would do when I would research brands on eBay, it's very simple. I would go to any page on eBay, and on the left-hand side, there's like a dollar margin that you can choose. Like, so let's say I want to start doing dresses again, and I can't remember where my list is or what I was selling last year. So I'll go into eBay, and on the margin there, you type in where the price. So let's say you want a dress that starts at $99 because you want to know like what the price is for, like you want to go for the highest price dresses that you can find. So you want to search like starting at $99. That's how you find
Yeah.
your higher price brands. And you can do this with anything. Like let's say you want to focus on men's shirts. You just look in eBay on men's shirts and start this selling price at $99 and go up to $500 and see what kind of shirts are out there for that
Yeah.
type of price. So you have to like learn
That
how to
that's a
do
great
that,
tip. Yeah, that's a great tip.
You have to
And
like,
that's something I do at estate sales. If I know that there's going to be a lot of a certain product or a certain collection, I'll do a search on eBay and order it from highest to lowest, so I can see
that's
what are the
right.
expensive
Hmm.
things I need to be looking
Wonder
out
if I
for,
could put the
whether
link
it's
in
like
here.
train sets or yeah,
Let's
that's
see.
great. Oh, that's the link to the handbag. Oh, I can see that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Wow, that's pretty cool. All right. Well, I've lost the screen now. Where are you? There you are. I think we probably should wrap it up because it's like
Yep,
20
it's
past
past the
9 here.
hour.
It is.
It's getting
It's
late
getting
here for
past the
me
hour, and
too.
Yeah, it's been so nice talking to you. It's been really fun. I hope people have got as much out of it as I have because I've learned so much
Yeah.
talking to you. It's been fun. We need to do it again sometime. It's been cool.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have to like, I'll have to go like 2 weeks because I have a bunch of stuff to send in and I'm starting to do FBA. So we should like, have another one. Like, give me a little bit of time because I'm trying to, I have to run eBay as well. So I like have to do FBA after eBay. So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
kind of like double timing it, but let's do like an update in like 2 weeks and see where I'm at. I should have got my first shipment in. I can talk about how it was listing my first items, like really like, because I
that would
know
be
some
really
people are
cool.
new in the group and we can go through and like just give an update of like, okay, so I sent
Yeah,
in my first shipment and where are we now? So like maybe we'll do another one in 2 weeks. Give me a little bit of
that's a
time
great
because I
idea.
work a little bit slow in the beginning, getting
No,
it
that's
going
that's
is a
such a
little
good
tough.
idea. There's so many people doing what you're doing and switching from, or not switching, but adding Amazon to what they do. And I did my YouTube video about that about a week, 2 weeks ago, about kind of an introduction to Amazon FBA for eBay sellers. And
Yeah, I
people,
think
there's
I
so
saw
many
that one.
people doing it. Yeah,
There
there's a
are.
lot of people doing it. So yeah.
It's
Oh well, it's
important
been
to
so
add,
cool.
it's important to add and have both platforms. Everyone keeps saying that.
I think so. And I think things are very unstable at the moment. So like the more platforms you have. Have you found
Mhm.
Yerdle yet? Have you seen Yerdle?
I just saw you guys talking about it today and I thought, well, I'm gonna have to see what that is. So I'm gonna check that out in the next
Yeah.
couple days.
I've
I've
got
heard
a bit
good
of
things.
news. I've got something exciting happening with Yerdle. I'm talking to them at the moment, and I'm hoping to announce something in the next few days. But I'm kind
Wow.
of excited about Yerdle. I feel like that's like another string on the bow, and we're kind of getting in on the ground floor. So
Right.
that's another
Wow,
thing good.
cool.
Yeah, yeah. So watch this space, everyone. Hopefully, we'll have something Yerdle related coming up very, very soon.
Great.
All
That'll
right.
be
Well,
so
thank you.
cool.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for joining me, and it's been a really
Yeah.
fun chat, and yeah, we'll do it again in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah.
It sounds
We'll
good.
talk soon and we'll hook it up.
All right, well, thank you so much, Autumn, and thank you everyone else that's joined us. Come
Yeah.
and join us in Treasure Hunting with Katharyne. It's on Facebook, and I do a spreecast every Saturday afternoon, so come and join us for that. And have a very good week, everyone. Bye, Autumn. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.